Another group that is really struggling, another marginalized group that's struggling during the pandemic as well, are Asian Americans. It does not get as much airtime as some of the other challenges that are happening in our country. And maybe it's just that there are so many things that are happening. It is really challenging to really get a hold on all of them. But the thing that needs to be understood from a majority perspective is that although it's not present on your radar, it doesn't mean it's not important and a vital issue on someone else's. So although the spotlight is on Black communities and policing this past year, this has been something that has been on our mind all of our existence. And one of the things I wanted to talk about right now is COVID and the effects on the Asian American population. So although the numbers aren't the same with the Asian American population as they are maybe in Black and Brown communities, they are experiencing a level of hate crime violence that is soaring. So between mid-March and the end of June, there were 2,100, yes, 2,100 reported hate crimes to Asian Americans based on the fact that people believed that Asian Americans were the one who brought coronavirus to the United States. Think about that. That is a lot of violence towards a community that is just trying to navigate life during COVID like the rest of us. And some groups will call it the China virus or the China flu, and that only contributes to the level of hate crimes that are coming to Asian Americans in this country. Now, more than ever, it's clear that the pandemic is all over the world. So it literally doesn't even make any sense to call it the China flu. We have some of the highest cases, if not the highest cases in the world. So you might as well call it the American flu at this point, if you really wanted to be accurate. But the point being is that Asian Americans are subject to and are being subjected to racist attacks and violence from people who want to blame what we're going through now on them. And you have to be mindful that some of our colleagues, some of our friends are struggling with these issues and suffering in silence. And we might not even be aware that this is going on. So just to be mindful, there's a lot of different groups out there who are really struggling with a multitude of different things because of this pandemic. And as you go through your day-to-day, think about how you can be supportive of your friends who might be scared to go someplace because they know there's been reports of anti-Asian violence, or friends, and this is a story one of my Asian friends had mentioned to me, that in late March, he was in Vegas and he couldn't get an Uber. They would not pick him up because they saw his last name, and they had the fact that coronavirus came from China in their brain and didn't want to pick anybody up who even looked Asian. So these are just not only just dangerous situations, but also just hurtful, painful, stressful situations that the Asian community is having to deal with, all because of a message that is politically expedient for some people, or the blame game. Whenever there is something going on in the world that is tough for a country, it's very easy to scapegoat marginalized people for problems. That's how we get in a lot of wars. But I just want you to take time and think about your Asian American friends, coworkers, family who may be struggling right now and have not ever said anything to you, and connect with them and see how you can be a good friend and a good ally to them.